Atonement for all. When Arminians say that Jesus Christ died for sinners, we mean to say that Jesus Christ died for every human being without exception. And in doing so, he has provided them salvation, but only benefits them if they genuinely and freely respond to God's gospel invitation. Arminians typically call this view of the atonement the general view or the provisional view. Calvinists, on the other hand, teach that God sent Jesus Christ to die only for an unconditionally predestined and particular group, that Jesus Christ died for them and no one else, for reasons only known to God. Now, which of these views should one prefer? And I would like to share with you just one reason as to why I believe provisional atonement is to be preferred over particular atonement. See, within Arminianism, God genuinely loves all people without exception. And not in just some generic or general way, but he loves them in the salvific sense, that no one has to doubt whether or not God desires them to be saved. That when we read John 3:16, that God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, and that whosoever shall believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life, we believe that is God's intention for everyone, that he desires for them to be saved and not perish. And so within Arminianism, God even loves the non-elect, those who freely reject and are obstinate to the very end, that he provides them atonement and he provides them sufficient grace for them to believe. That's why hell is so terrible, because they did not have to be there. But within Calvinism, it doesn't seem as if God genuinely loves all people, at least not in a salvific sense. He certainly doesn't seem to love the non-elect, in that he does not provide them atonement and he does not provide them sufficient grace for them to respond to the gospel. And the worst thing about this is that Calvinists, when talking about man's free will, believe in what's called compatibilism. And compatibilism is the idea that God's unilateral decrees are somehow compatible with man's free will. In other words, God could decree that everyone could freely respond to the gospel of Jesus Christ and be saved. And according to Calvinism, this in no way infringes on their free will. Mysteriously, somehow, their free will is able to stay intact. Now, if we grant that that is true, then why is anybody going to hell at all? Why is anybody damned at all? Because if God could unilaterally decree that everybody could freely believe in Jesus Christ and be saved without infringing on their free will, then why does he do it only for some and not others? And for those that he does not do it for, can you really say that he loves them in any meaningful sense of the word? I would argue no, that you cannot. I know oftentimes Calvinists say that God has a differentiating love for the elect and non-elect, that he has a special kind of love for the elect and a different type of love for the non-elect. Well, that might all be well and good. That might even be true. But the way that they describe God's intentions and his actions towards the non-elect doesn't sound like a different kind of love. It doesn't sound like love at all. In fact, I would go so far as to say it sounds like hatred. Now, I know Calvinists would not concede what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to point out, at least from my point of view, this is where Calvinism inevitably leads, that God's love is insufficient within this view. And this is why I believe that provisional atonement is to be preferred over particular atonement.